what can we expect for Carnival 2025?
How is it looking for the troops this year?
Should only get better and better and better, and that is the idea.
So I know in the beginning, Jackie asked you about Lady Shorteh. That is your stage name. But what I would like to know, tell me about Sjahairah Fleming.
All right, so actually it's a very interesting story.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our other podcast of The Talk. Here with us today we have Miss Sjahairah Fleming, who's well known in our community. She is someone who's has a lot of experience in media, stage, everything that has to do with entertainment. So this is not something new for you, but we're happy to have you here on the podcast with us.
All right,
Can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, of course. Thank you all so much, by the way, for having me here tonight. It's a pleasure to sit with you all. Well, as you say, I'm Sjahairah Fleming, and besides that, I'm also known as Lady Shorteh.
Yeah.
So, exactly what would you like to know about me, actually?
I think I would like to start first. You have the name Lady Shorteh. And it could be an obvious reason why you have the name Lady Shorteh, but I don't know if it's something more extravagant to it. So I wanted to know where the name Lady Shorteh come from.
All right. So actually, it's a very interesting story. When I was a teenager, I got the name from when I was a teenager. And at that time, there was one year that I was actually living in Curacao with my dad. And he was working in Curacao at that moment. And I had some friends. And when we would go out, they were actually from different islands, like Jamaica and stuff like that. And when we go out to their parties, of course, when it came to me and my friends from Statia, I was the shortest one. Right? So whenever I come to a party, they would be like, "Hey, Shorteh in the building," you know. And actually, when my father decided to write me a calypso and for me to perform in Carnival, he was like, "What are you going to name? What is your calypso name going to be?" You know. So it just ended up being Lady Shorteh.
Yeah. So when that decision came to making a name, he was the one who approved the name, or it was just like, okay, you just...
Yeah, it was just like, okay, whatever you come with, that's what it's going to be,
That's
you know?
nice.
So that's how I ended up being Lady Shorteh.
So would you say your first experience on stage came from your father?
Actually, well, okay, it's also a very interesting story how we get into this whole thing of singing and all of that. I grew up in a home where there was a lot of music. And because my father was 7 times Road March King, 7 times Calypso King.
Yes.
And by the time I was 1 year old, he was already singing in Carnival. Yeah. And so I grew up in that.
Yeah.
And I grew up where they had the band like -2 and all of them. So all the guys like Ply and Ibo and Kurt and Marlon Hoke and Marlon Moray, to me they're my uncles because I grew up around them singing music and being in the bands. And then on the flip side of it, my mom was involved in church. So I also had to go to church and be involved in everything in church. Yeah. And also that means being involved in the choir.
Yeah.
And that is where I actually sang.
I was actually going to ask if you discovered it in the church, because I know many artists, many famous people always say
I discovered
from the
it,
choir also.
Exactly, I discovered it from the church.
Wow.
You know, and that is where it all stemmed from.
Nice.
And when I became a teenager, actually in my younger years, I was always singing and always doing everything to do with arts. I was involved in all kinds of things like dance and model and everything you could think about.
Yeah.
And from that age, I remember one day just sitting down and Ply himself, I was just singing my heart away. I don't even remember why I was singing for. And he was like telling my father, "This girl could sing," you know?
Yeah.
And when I was in my teenage years, I think it was like maybe 13 or maybe 14, at that time, Destra came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. You know, I was like a big fan, and I was always singing her songs. And I remember my cousin telling my father, "You need to write this girl a calypso song. You know, you need to write her a calypso." And that's where it all started. I ended up, my father ended up writing me a calypso,
Wow.
and that it was my first time actually participating in Carnival, actually, just as a guest artist, because I was still young, just getting into it. So I came out as a guest artist, and yeah, that's where it all started. And to be honest, I was like about 23 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
Would you say, for example, would you say that you was a natural when it comes to the music thing, or did you have like stage fright? What was like the first experience like going on stage?
In the beginning, of course, you have that stage fright. You know, to be honest, I used to get a little anxiety here and there. But when I get on stage, I was always a different person. You know, then is when I became Lady Shorteh, to be honest. So, I've had a lot of experience in it. Of course, also when you first come out on stage and you know, you want to be moving up and down, and you have to have control of your voice and control of, you know, your movements. All of those things you learn as you grow. You know, it just don't happen just like that. So, you know,
So I have a question. From what you say, you speak a lot about your dad. You know, when you just first started out, what is that relationship like having a father as that support?
It's awesome, to be honest. It's really awesome to have seen him, you know, give all of that, you know, his music, his calypsos and his road march and all of that stuff. And when I now decided to get into the music scene, he was like, I'm done. And it was the same thing for Tea Time as well, because as you all know, Tea Time is my cousin, my father is his uncle.
Yeah.
And now we are both teenagers in the scene, and he's like, it's your time to take over now, because he's not going to come and compete against his own daughter, you know?
Exactly.
So he's always been a support where that is concerned.
That's so nice to hear.
And I see you mentioned, like, for example, growing up, you was around a lot of male figures.
Yeah.
And then you say, Destra came out, and I could see on your face, like, I don't know if it's because like it was a woman or something like that. Who were women that inspired you to do music?
Whoa.
Or was it mostly men?
Whoa. It's wow, that's a great question. That's a very great question, because I mean, I got my inspiration from them too, and especially with the whole Carnival thing and being involved in all of that. I got my inspiration from them. Of course, my mom also loved music, and not just soca music. You know, she was really still a music lover for different genres. So I got introduced to a lot of different genres to music that I still love today. You understand? So I've had a lot of influence. Even my aunt, Maxine, she had loved like Tina Turner and all of them. So I grew up listening to that type of music as well. So I had a lot of influence all around me when it came to music, and me just really loving music. It was just, you know, I started to write my own songs, you know. That was my escape to just get away from everything else. I just wrote music and expressed. That's how I expressed myself.
I have a question, like for persons who would like to become an artist in Statia. You speak about it comes along the years of experience with stage performances. Did you have coaches along your way?
Whoa. You'll get advice here and there, to be honest, because they had times when you go on stage and you get excited and you're dancing and stuff like that, and you're dead tired. You understand what I'm saying? And you're like, oh my gosh. And you know, you get advice here and there based on how your performance go. I've had moments in my career where Mega D was also a great support and sort of a manager, and making sure that, you know, I do things the way it's supposed to be done, and watch every single thing.
That's nice.
You understand? So I have to say big up to Mega as well for being definitely essential in my career.
Nice. Really nice. Because I understand, like, it do have people who want to come out, but maybe they're a bit stage fright. So I wanted to know if you had any tips that you can give them. Because I don't think they have anyone here who specifically, I think, besides Mega, because he does it for the youth, who really coaches those persons, artists, with stage performances and how they should, put their stuff out there.
Well, what I can say is just go for it. There's a lot of different, lot of artists out there that can definitely give support. Also in the like a show that I had last year with the Groovy, with the kids coming out and being able to create their own songs.
Yeah.
I thought that is a platform for our young upcoming artists who actually want to do it, to have a space to be able to make that happen. And of course, I feel like we have to now develop our next upcoming artists, because I'm really not seeing it. When we became artists like Face and Tea Time and all of us, we are teenagers. And I'm not seeing any female teenagers that's really out there singing, or any of the young guys that's really out there doing their thing or really into music like that, like it was for us back in the days.
Do you think something changed along the way?
I guess time changed, but also I don't think they really had the platform to be able to do it. Not all children are brave. And you have to give them that space to be able to grow. So for me that is important. And I also feel in situations like that, a lot of times, we want to allow our kids to do things, and you want to put them in a competition one time. And competitions are nice, but competitions can also break somebody's spirit. And the next time you don't want to do it because you were so hurt. You didn't get an opportunity to grow, So for me, creating a platform for our children to actually come and learn and feel the stage out. See if you really like it, and grow from there. And then when you grow, you can decide, hey, I want to compete now. I'm ready. And then you could bring it, So
I'm not sure if you're familiar that you bring that up. It made me think on, I think the Bethel Methodist Church does have an annual
gospel competition.
Yes, I remember that, but I'm not sure if it's only when it comes to the event, but I'm not sure if they have any consistency throughout the year, like, on a weekly or how many times a week that those students, persons who are interested in singing, that they get that support consistently.
I have no idea how it really works. And I think, like I say, those things are wonderful to have and allow children to come and show their talent. But however, when it comes to really being on stage and being our next artist, and it comes to like soca kind of, it's a different story.
That is true.
It's a different story.
That is true.
And
I like that you highlight the importance of competition, because you have to be very mindful before entering what effect it can have on a child, and also build that up.
So even before a competition, you have to be able to let the children know, hey, you all are winners, no matter what. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. At the end of the day, once you're going into a competition, you have to know that, hey, there's an opportunity that I can win. There's also an opportunity that I can lose. But if I do, then you take whatever it is you learn from that, and you come back again.
It is true.
You come back again, and you give it your all again, and you don't quit. But like I say, not all children are brave, and not all children are that strong. And it hurts sometimes when you do lose. And then sometimes you also lose them in that moment, because you're like, I'm not coming back. I don't want to be hurt again. I don't think I'm good enough to make it happen. So.
But do you think, I understand you say over the years things change, but do you think it has an effect on the community, like how the community perceives that? Because, like, for example, you have persons who really want to pursue music career professionally. And in Statia, we don't have so many of those options. So when students go away to Curacao, Holland, which is the common or United States, they usually go for something what is more, how do you say, more like to get a job, but not, let me just say, in more the artistic area when it comes to music. I don't see that. What's your thoughts on that?
We need musicians. We need some musicians. Music is art. you know, and we all listen to music.
Exactly.
And I can guarantee there's other young women out here that can sing their life away. I know there are a lot of young boys that are interested in playing drums. You see them all the time.
Yeah.
You see them all the time playing drums, you know what I mean? But of course, you need guitarists, you need bassmen, you need all of those things. And studying music is also a career. You understand what I'm saying? So
that is something that really I know the primary schools are already doing. I think we have a music teacher.
Yeah.
But I still feel like for those students who really want to go more into it, more in depth and specialize in that area, I think that is really needed.
It is definitely needed, but I also want to say it also starts from young. You know, it really starts from young. And so that's why it's very important for us to have a music school where our kids could actually really decide what instrument they want to study and have choices and all of that.
The exploration phase.
You know, but it has to start from somewhere for us to be able to create these professionals.
What about you? Would you be interested?
If interested
in providing coaching for those, to discovering their music.
Yeah, definitely.
It can be singing because it's a wide.
And I think we have a lot of artists out there who could also maybe one day, because we're all now busy, have our families and all of that. One day be able to give back in that sense and teach our kids some music. But like whoever out there wants to do it, sing and go for it. There's so many options out there nowadays. It's so easy for you to just open up your phone and follow a course in music, pick up a guitar and you can learn online.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There's so many options out there, and I also want to encourage our parents to encourage our children to follow their dreams, and allow them to get into, art if they wish.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned that, because that's exactly what I wanted to touch on. Like sometimes parents might influence them and say, oh, music is not something that you can pursue, it's not like a professional thing that you can go into, but you can look at persons like Sherma Rouse, how they make a whole living out of that, just off of singing and professionally. So I think it's really good that you say parents also has a big role to play in
parents have a really, really big role to play in the development of their children and how they feel about pursuing their dreams, and of course we can look around and say music, okay, but baby, of course I understand how parents feel about it. But even if that is the case, it's always a hobby. And it's always something that you can still do on the side. And because usually people who do music, it's an outlet for them. It's something they just love to do it. So it's like just nothing, So that's how I really feel about it.
That's so true.
I have a question. I remember the first song you said you said that your father helped you wrote, I think it was Road Match, you said?
No, Calypso. He actually wrote my first Calypso.
What was your first time when you now was the one sitting down writing that specific song? What was that experience like? Can you remember the first song you wrote?
Whoa. My first Road March that I wrote, was Rock Down. That was in 2004.
I think that's my favorite song,
Yeah.
2004. That's my first Road March I wrote. When it came to writing music, I was writing music before, just, me being in my feelings, as an artist. And you write music and you sing to different beats. But my first Road March was Rock Down that I actually wrote.
How does that one go again?
Rock down, jam down.
Thank you.
So then, Road Match. Road Match is a very big thing. It's been a very, very big thing in the community. My first experience I could remember with Road Match, I think Carnival, Road Match competition that time. When I could first remember it, for me, I think it was in Fort. I don't know how far back that was, but I can remember the time that it was held in the Fort.
Okay.
What was What was your first experience like with Carnival in general?
Wow, I was small.
You grew up in it.
Yes, I grew up in it with the bands on the road. I used to be in the parade. So I have pictures when I was like this, high, like in a costume. Um, Back then, I remember Jump Up was starting like either by the monument in town by the Catholic Church,
Yeah.
and it had a more far back than that. It was starting here by Brown Superette, you know, and it was so different. It was so different. It was really different.
Yeah.
But that's my first time I can remember Carnival. I was really young.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then now, speaking of Carnival itself, because now lately, you're now the president of the Carnival committee. And I can see us for today. I saw that a lot of stuff. I saw the road mile competition. I saw there's something for the troops. How was the planning like for Carnival? What can we expect for Carnival 2025?
Well, I can't really say much. We don't want to spill all the beans,
Yeah.
you know, but we are actually working behind the scenes really hard. We just became the Carnival committee, actually.
Yeah.
So, of course, we had to hit the ground running. Carnival is not too far from now. So, we are like really working hard behind the scenes to make sure that we do our best and give our best for Carnival 61.
Yeah.
You understand? So we're going to get back on that. We're going to get back on that. But I must say that expect a great Carnival.
Yeah.
Expect a great Carnival because Carnival is everybody. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
Back in the days, I was just saying Carnival is me, Carnival is you, Carnival is all of we, or Carnival is you,
Yes.
Carnival is me, Carnival is all of we, something like that, right?
Yeah, I remember hearing that one.
Right?
Exactly.
And it's really true, you know, because we all support each other when it comes to the Carnival season. Indirectly, directly, however it is, because even if you don't go to the shows, I guarantee you can buy something in the village to eat.
Yeah.
That's
At
for sure.
least.
That's for sure.
You know, so you support in some way,
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
And besides that, it's our cultural event that we have to keep alive. It's 61 years.
Exactly.
And it should only get better and better and better. And that is the idea, that we really make it an event that people can look forward to. And that when it's done, you can say, hey, you know, we had a great Carnival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's only about getting better and better.
Yeah.
So that's what we're aiming for
Yeah.
this year.
So what I can say, I like that, like what Jaquil said. I saw the posters, like you all looking for the community involvement as well.
Yes,
So I
of
find that it's
course.
really a great idea, initiative that you all doing on behalf of the committee. I just have a question in regards to the committee. Usually you used to have like a different setting, but now for this setting, I noticed like, okay, part of persons in government is involved, and I think it's 2 other organizations merged together, and that created the whole committee. Can you tell me what is the difference from now compared to back then, and why the new inclusion, I should say?
Okay. Well, actually, Carnival is culture.
Yeah.
And culture also falls under Commissioner Lairdam's portfolio.
Yes.
And I am her executive assistant, so I represent her in each and every way.
Yeah.
And for Carnival, of course, as a representative of her office, I am the chairperson.
Yeah.
And then there were 2 teams that were interested in actually doing something for Carnival.
Yeah.
And we thought, hey, you know, you can, you can, you know, take your best. You can you can get, you know, your best and put them together and create something great.
Exactly.
You know, and like I say, every team had their assets that can contribute to the Carnival committee. So this is where you had royalty, EUX Royalty Group, and you have the Dream Center Foundation. And so
What is a Dream Center?
So that the Dream Center Foundation is FACE and all of them. I don't know if you realize that they had some events, some parties and those things.
Yes.
So there's 3 persons from royalty that's representing royalty, which is Tony Winterfelder, Ashanti Aventurin, who is the secretary on royalty, and she still maintains the same on the Carnival committee as secretary.
Okay.
And she's actually an accountant.
Yeah.
Which is a great asset, you know.
Yeah.
And then we have Tasha Hector, who is a treasurer on royalty, and she still maintains the same role on the Carnival committee. She's also an accountant.
Okay. I'm not familiar who the person is, but that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from
Dream Center.
the Dream Center Foundation, we have Otis Smith.
Yeah.
It is the man Face.
Yeah.
And you all know Face has also been involved
Yes,
in
for sure.
Yeah.
Bacchanal from God knows when.
Yeah.
Then we also have Jair Hooker
Yeah.
and Melicio Spanner.
Okay.
And then representing the culture department, we have Sade Bennett.
Yeah.
You know, she gonna...
I like that you all involve
Yeah.
someone from culture in it too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And she's gonna bring it. She's gonna
Yeah,
bring that
yeah.
vibe for sure.
Yeah.
You know, so we are honestly, we feel great as a team.
Yeah.
And when we get together, it's like children just trying to figure out, hey, how are we gonna do? How are we gonna do this and put things together? We're all excited. You know,
That's
we're
nice.
bursting out with so many ideas.
Exactly.
And you know, when we're done with our meetings, it's like, we had a great one. You know, we accomplished something.
Yeah.
So that is important. Your team is important.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like I said, Carnival is everybody.
Yeah.
We're not just creating Carnival.
Yeah.
We can't do it without the boot holders. We can't do it without the troops.
Yeah.
We can't do it without the participants, the bands, and everybody, and the people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because if they don't support Carnival, then what is Carnival?
I know that, yes, you said Carnival can't do it without the booth holders and troops and all of that. What I really like is that for now, I actually see an official poster displaying what the troops them will be getting back right now. So that's really something good that you all started out with.
Yeah.
So how is it looking for the troops this year?
Well, we just posted it up, you know. So we're just really hoping that the troops come out and do their thing, because we really do feel that they deserve something. It takes a lot to put your troop together, to make sure your costume is, you know, the bomb, and come out on the road and jam for 2 days. It takes a lot, and it's also very expensive, and we really want to give them some support, and that's our way of saying thank you, by the way, for your input.
Yeah.
You know, so I really want to invite, you know, and the Carnival committee really want to invite the troops to come out and do something, any little thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If I may ask, I know like before with the other committees, they used to be looking for sponsorships from different organizations and so forth. Now that government is involved, is that will that still continue, or is it that the funds for the Carnival will be coming from government?
Oh no, it's not set up like that. It's not set up like that. Of course, we still need support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, government supports. They always do.
Yeah.
That's what they always do each and every single year. So
Yeah.
we still have that support from government.
Yeah.
But of course, you always want, you know, there are other companies, and you know, anybody can support. You know, a little something here and there.
So support is still needed.
Yes, of course. That would make your Carnival even better.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So any little support would be.
Yeah. I think that's really good that you make it known as well. Because that's why I was wondering, because, you know, people would be like, oh, well, government is involved, so that means the funds are there, everything is in place. But still that, okay, I know some big sponsors are like UTEL, other places. I'm not sure how GTI is right now, but I know for previous years,
you know,
they
of
used to
course,
really support.
UTEL always supports in every single way.
Exactly.
You know, and Stuco supports. There's a lot of support out there. We just want to say support again. 2025. You know, we need your support again.
Yeah.
Like it's everybody has to be involved. That is what makes Carnival, and it happens like that every single place.
Yeah.
You know, Statia is no different.
Exactly.
We make it what it is. You understand? And when anybody come, we want them to to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And when they leave Statia, they could say, man, Statia
Yeah.
people, they know how they got vibes.
Yeah.
You know? That's what you want people to come to
Yeah,
your carnival
it's
and
true.
say.
Yeah.
So is we make the vibes, everybody make the vibes.
And as a community, is there anything that you say we need to do apart from your responsibilities and the committee outside of that?
Other than supporting, I mean, that's all I think we can really ask for is your support in whichever way or form.
Yeah.
You know, whether you want to be a promoter, whether you want to make a costume, whatever it is. You can be you could be a one-person jamming a parade. That is okay. You understand what I'm saying? Why not?
Yeah.
You know, so just give your support in whichever way you can,
Yeah.
and that is always welcome.
Yeah.
You know, we can't really ask for much.
I'm really glad you shared that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the community also will be appreciative, especially like what I say, the things that you all are requesting from the community. So that's really good that they also have their take on it.
Of course, even with a road march, we put out the poster for road march.
Yeah.
As well.
I don't think last year they had a road march. I'm
Oh,
not
why
sure.
not?
I can't remember.
Why
Yeah,
did
they
they
didn't
have
have one
official
last.
road march?
They didn't
Yeah.
have one last year. I think the year before they did.
Yeah.
Last year, no, they just had a show. But we want to encourage the road marching. And that's your carnival song.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we want to encourage all of our artists, all of our Statia artists, wherever you are in the world,
Yeah.
come back and join in this competition.
So that
you
mean
know.
you was number one on the list then.
Oh no. Unfortunately, this year, no.
No?
Face and I, we're out. We're out this year.
But me, if you're out, still can mean you can make some
Music.
for
Oh
the-
yeah, definite.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't think I can go through Carnival without doing something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Sure.
I'm not gonna perform either because it's just in me.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, I think. But definite. You know, there are artists like Shaza B who say, hey, we gotta do something together. So we definitely gotta make that happen. So something is definitely cooking there. And I'll see what else pops up in the
Nice.
meantime.
Well, you have a creative mind, so
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but for road match, Face and I,
Uh-oh.
we're out this year.
Is there any? Didn't see any poster yet, but I wanted to know: is there any? Like you say, your father was into calypso. Is there any calypso this year?
Very great question. We are really trying to see how we can incorporate calypso in this year Carnival, because you know calypso had kind of
After what they did.
we haven't had that in such a long time. And even when they do have calypso, it's always the older calypsonians actually singing their songs, and we're not really seeing any new faces in the calypso scene for a very long time.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to see how we can incorporate that. But as a team, we also discussed it, and we came to the conclusion we need to start with some children.
Yeah.
That is the only how we can revive
Yeah.
the calypso again. And that is culture. So for us to incorporate culture back into our carnival, we definitely have to start from somewhere. And if we don't get to start this year with some children getting involved in calypso somehow, it's definitely coming. But we have to start there.
Really good. You mentioned this year. How long is the committee will be in place?
Well, for now, we're an interim team. So we're going to see how this year plays out.
Okay, evaluate it.
Yeah, we're going to evaluate after. We're going to evaluate things before. We're going to evaluate things after. And then we see from there. Then we go from there, because once this is over, and if we have a good evaluation, we're on it.
That's really nice.
One time again for the next year to be bigger and better.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. Yeah. You have any?
Yeah, I have a question. Your father used, like, for example, you say a lot of the calypsonians are older folks. Your father, you have Private, you have a few others, Junior Problem used to do also.
I think Junior was the youngest, right? The youngest last calypsonian.
Junior, Problem
Yes.
Child.
Mirror
used to do. You had a Rishinel also was a calypsonian.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah, right. There was a lot of them back then. Yeah.
With Calypso, a a lot of it stem from, like, for example, what going on in the community and stuff like that. And your father was one who really would speak on what is happening in the community. Did that ever affect you in any way? Seeing that usually he had no filter with whatever he spoke about. Did that affect you in any way growing up?
Not really. I just allow my father to be my father, you know. And in Carnival time, people also understood that was calypso, you know.
Exactly.
That they were expecting and waiting to hear like what this man is gonna come with, you know. But that was calypso, and they either spoke on crazy things that happen in the community, or they spoke on politics and things like that. So, it didn't have no effect on me really and truly. And people sang his songs like that, and they really loved them.
Exactly.
So it was actually just allowing him to be him.
Yeah. Nice.
And you say, like, for example, going in competitions is something very difficult. What kind of mindset did you have to be able to always, because not every time you're going to go, like you said, and not every time you're going to win. What was in you that caused you to bounce back each time? Just keep coming back each time.
Wow, it was really the love for it and the motivation that I got from everybody else around me, you know. My first time actually competing, to be honest, which is a very interesting story as well. I was 16 with Rockdown. And I was 16. And wow, I competed in the adult competition because they didn't have the junior competition at that time. And here I come, it is my road. I can road my song, you know. And I want to compete, but so I competed at 16 years old. They allowed me to compete with the grown-ups at 16, and I lost by 1 point.
We rocked down?
We rocked down.
For some reason, I thought
that was
right. Yeah. You got so right.
For some reason, I thought that was
yeah, because I mean, the song was a hit song. It was a hit song. 40 years Carnival,
It was I can't remember that other song. I could have swear you won that year.
I didn't. I lost by a point.
Wow. And what was that experience like?
Wow, in that moment, of course I'm hurt, you know, hurt. What? A point, man, you gotta fight for that. You know, and but besides that, everyone loved the song. Everyone loved it. So even though I lost, I still felt like a winner. You understand? And like I say, the persons around me still made me feel like a winner. And I think that is what always gave me the motivation and the boost to come back time and time again. Because no matter what, once I was in Statia, I would compete. Not every year I was here for the summer. Once I was here, and there was a competition, I would definitely compete.
And I could remember you saying that, for example, your father say, okay, you see Unity time start coming, so he say, okay, it's about that time for me to come out.
So that was the end of Calypso.
What was the experience like, for example, because music is kind of competitive sometimes, but Unity time also makes some real good classic songs that people are listening to up to this day. When you all get in, how come you all never like to say we make an album together?
Man, I thought about it, to be honest, and I also said to Tea Time, we got to do a show together, like a real show together. I think that would be the bomb. You know, because we really make a great team too. On the stage, a lot of energy, and all that. We're like two different people. You know, that's we become two different people. It's crazy. Me Tea Time been doing music forever. Even before we decide to compete against each other, we were already doing music back in the days. And at that time, I was living in the U.S. And he was going to school in Curacao. So the crazy thing is, we were doing music over the computer. Computers was like ancient back then.
Exactly.
But we were doing music over with certain things that we would download and we record with a computer mic. Had a little mic like this, come up like this, and we were recording on that, and then we gonna send the music to each other, and that's how we created songs. From a distance.
Yeah.
So ancient.
That's
You know,
crazy.
if you hear them now, you'll be like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But sometimes a lot of them still play on the radio
Exactly.
and for in summertime.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy.
To know how it was created.
How it was created behind the computer behind,
Nice.
20 years ago.
Exactly.
And there's still some hits today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more question about Carnival specifically. What was your most vivid memory you could have from Carnival?
Whoa.
Like a top experience you had with Carnival.
I had so much memories in Carnival, right? I have so much great memories in Carnival. What is one of my top memories? I'm trying to think. That's such a great question. 'Cause
Take your time.
Yeah, I've had some really great memories with friends and family. And wow, let me think. I don't know.
I mean, well, you've been in it for a very long time, so I could understand what it could be
They
difficult.
have so many to choose from.
Yeah, I have so much to
Yeah.
choose from, because with me performing for so long, every year you create so much memories.
Yeah.
Whether you're, performing or whether you're just hanging out with your friends and family in Carnival, doing crazy things, jamming in Juve morning, whatever the memories of falling asleep, trying to get to Juve, so, it's just a lot of, Carnival is a lot of great memories. You create a lot of great memories during that time.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
So I want to, switch it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Besides being an entertainer, musician, you're also please correct me if it's the right term, is it farming?
Yeah.
You have your business called Johan.
Mm-hmm.
I understood where the story came from, but persons might not know, so I would like for you to give more of an explanation as to what the name Johan stands for and where it came from.
All right. So yes, besides all that I do, I'm also involved in farming.
Yeah.
Like you say, I have a hydroponic farm, and it's called Johan. I do have a partner that I work with in where Johan is concerned. And when I did sign up to be a farmer like about 2 years ago, and that is where it all started. And it actually started in my backyard.
Yeah.
Planting in my backyard, and we were saying, hey, let's get into this and see if we could do this thing, and we made it happen. And so now, when we were able to get into the greenhouse and start getting the system to work and all of that, because the system has been there for a very long time. This was actually a project that I guess was created a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So now that we decided, hey, we're gonna try to make this work.
Yeah.
And it was like a sort of experiment and something excited to look towards. We were like, we're gonna make this thing work and we're gonna produce something.
Yeah.
And so in all of that, making all of those things happen, of course we need a name for the farm, because now we're about to produce.
Yeah.
And I decided, hey, I'm gonna just go try to create a logo myself.
Yeah.
And I created the logo with the hand and the leaf that is in the hand.
Yeah.
Right? So now I went to my partner and I say, hey, look, I have this logo. And I was like, okay. I was like, you see, it's your hand? That's your hand. It's like, a brown hand, like, you see, that's your hand. So I was like, so what are we going to name the business? He was like, that's it. Your hand.
Really? Wow. Imagine that.
Imagine
you
that, right?
explaining him and then saying, oh, Johan.
Yeah.
So your hand.
Yeah, your hand.
Just,
In our little
Your
accent,
hand.
I was like,
Yeah.
this is your hand.
Yeah.
So that's how.
Well, this is the first time I hear. I didn't know that was not how it was.
Finally was,
Cool.
I was surprised when I heard it.
Everybody's surprised because people be like, who's your hand?
Yeah.
Even my daughter was like, Ma, Who's
Yeah.
Johan?
I'm thinking like it's some therapeutic name, like you know how did I go like the Buddha and all of those type of holistic. Let me say, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
so that is how Johan came about. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's actually like I say, a hydroponics
Yeah.
farm, and we are mainly focusing on lettuce
Mm-hmm.
and bok choy, because
Yeah.
Statia people like bok choy for
Yeah.
some reason.
Yeah.
So we were just really trying to focus on just 2 crops, because you gotta at least be good in something.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
is
we don't want to
true.
do a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
No,
And then you lose
we want to
focus,
produce. We want to really produce and be experts
Yeah.
in what we produce.
Yeah.
So that's how we thought about it, and yeah, it's going. It's coming along.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work. It's also very expensive to get this whole hydroponic thing started as well.
Okay.
So the goal is to actually be able to produce enough fresh lettuce for the community.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, when we get our vegetables, they're really no good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and while we're doing our thing, of course, we want to see, hey, once we produce, like, how long would lettuce last? And even if you go and you do some research for yourself, fresh lettuce can last up to 5 weeks, right?
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know that.
Right?
Yeah.
So now you could imagine when we get our lettuce, within a couple days,
done.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
exactly.
to like
it's not
Yeah.
as good anymore, you know,
Exactly.
and that proves that, hey, you don't know how long your lettuce has been
Yeah.
traveling.
Exactly.
Not just lettuce, but we just say our
That is true.
vegetables.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where does it come from?
Yeah.
We don't pay attention to those things,
No.
you know, and also the fact that what are they using when they are producing your stuff? Are
Yeah.
they using pesticides and all of those things that penetrates into your vegetables that make your vegetables no good for you to consume?
Exactly.
You know, what are they doing?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know where they come from and how long they're traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so all of those things, of course, there's nothing much we could do about it because we import our
Yeah.
food. But I think it's about time that we start really focusing on
It's a good
agriculture.
initiative.
Yeah. And you know, I want to motivate others to really get into agriculture as well and start to produce our own food, because hello, that is how also you want to promote healthy
You can
healthy
try to
living,
be sustainable as well.
be
Yeah.
sustainable, and you are what you eat.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
It's
And
true.
we want to be healthy, and we want to grow our children healthy
Exactly.
as well, and know what is in our food.
Yeah.
How is it going with because you all are focusing solely on right now lettuce and bok choy. How is the support, how is the support, I should say, from the grocery stores?
Well, we would love to be able to give to everybody and to all grocery stores, but so far we would sell at High Five.
Yeah.
Iris, you know, she
Yeah, I
always
saw that
supports.
one. Yeah.
She be ready. She was like, I want to sell your lettuce. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be the only one selling your lettuce. I'm like, to be honest, we want it to be to the level where all our supermarkets can say, hey, we want to buy
Yeah.
lettuce at Johan.
Yeah.
Of course, we gotta grow. We're not there yet. That
Yeah.
is the idea,
Yeah.
you know. But when we do, the support is awesome. Even from the community, I must say thank you to everybody that supports Johan when we have our bok choy and when we have our lettuce. Because trust me, the taste is so different
Yeah.
compared to what you would actually buy. It's more fresh,
Really nice.
and people
Yeah.
really enjoy it, you know. So I gotta say thank you for that support
Yeah.
on this platform. Thank you all so much.
Yeah.
But that is our goal.
Yeah.
And based on our research, it's necessary because remember, you go in a supermarket, you see lettuce cost maybe $3.75,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but your lettuce is small like this as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why. Like I say, when we get our food, it's already falling apart.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, the persons in the supermarket have to already take off the outer leaves.
Take a look.
So it looks presentable,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They want to give you
Exactly.
quaily looking thing. So they're going to want to make it look presentable. So they start to take off the outside leaves, and then you're left with a little head of lettuce.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is not how they come, you know. And for the persons in the store, it's also a loss for them.
Exactly.
Good that
You
you
know,
mentioned that.
because also sometimes maybe they purchase 2 cases of lettuce and they can only really sell 1.
Yeah.
That is what happens.
Yeah.
So it's a loss. So if they're able to get their lettuce fresh for a better price,
Yeah.
that our consumers can have a better price.
Exactly.
Because you're not gonna buy Johan lettuce for $3.75.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's the selling price for one?
Well, it really depends. You
Yeah.
know, what type of lettuce that we are producing. I'm gonna tell you, lettuce is really a funny thing. Because we also realize with our temperature is have a lot to play with how the lettuce will grow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had some instances where in the summertime, we were like, oh my God, it's hot.
Yeah.
You know, there's no ventilation and it's necessary for a lettuce to grow nicely. So there's a lot of things, little things that we still have to put in place to
Yeah.
make sure that they always do well.
Yeah.
But mainly our selling price, or sometimes range from like $2 for a lettuce head.
Yeah.
Practically.
That's really good.
Yeah.
You mentioned that it's kind of expensive. Do you all have funding for it currently, or is it from yourself, from your
Yeah, we do our
organizations, what
thing
you-
now. We do our thing.
Okay.
We've done it by ourselves, invested
Yeah.
in it because we believe that it's necessary.
Yeah.
And mainly for us, it's more of, like I say, being a motivation, being an inspiration to those that want to get into it, and seeing that you don't have to be out in the hot sun
Yeah.
to produce food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I do this at night, honestly and truly.
Yeah.
I go to the garden at night. There's lights,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and I go and I water the plants, and I go and I check the system, make sure everything is going right, make sure everything is balanced. It's also like a science,
Yeah.
you know, so it's interesting. It's my space
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
You know, so we want to be able to also train some young people that are interested in this, because
Wonderful.
it's necessary. That's why we are there, really and truly. That's why we created. It's mainly it's not only our business,
Yeah.
but it's a project that we want to help for the youth.
Yeah.
Because in the first place, it was that's what it was really created for, also to inspire
Yeah.
some farmers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? So yeah.
I'm really glad that you bring this up, because it kind of bring a realization to us as well, because we had a recent interview with Gershon Lopes, who's also into agriculture, and then he
Yeah.
asked us, what farmers do you know out there doing it full time? And he mentioned Miss Brooks and also
Yes.
Mr. Hazel.
Yes.
And then I said, but when you mentioned someone young, you weren't thinking about.
Yeah.
So we apologize.
No, but listen,
We missed Johan.
yeah, I know, but full time, no. I don't do it full time. I wish I could do it full time. My job right now doesn't allow me to do that.
Yeah.
But it is something that I do want to fulfill full time, because I love it.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's necessary.
Exactly.
You know, and I want to see Johan grow.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I like that you take baby steps in the sense of really focusing on the lettuce, or like you say, the sciencey stuff, everything behind it, so that you know that for sure is doing good. And I find that's really good, then going and doing different stuff, because then you really have then you can really be good at what you do.
Yeah,
Especially
you want to
if
be
it's-
an expert at what you produce.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
I want you to walk into Johan and I'll be like, hey, this is the deal right here,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like,
You know everything
I know
all about
everything,
lettuce.
everything about lettuce that I need to know, everything about the bok choy.
Yeah.
You know, and that is what we want.
Yeah.
You know, that is our focus, because like I say, it's also a science to make sure that the water is at the level it's supposed to be, the nutrients and all of that.
Yeah.
Those are things that you got to pay attention to, the pH, you know? So
Yeah.
you understand, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Do you all have any collaboration? Sorry for cutting you
no,
off.
go ahead.
Do you all have any projects with the schools and so forth, or any initiatives with that?
That is something that we're working on right
Yeah.
now,
Uh-huh.
to be honest. the schools come and visit Johan.
Yeah.
A lot of times you have, especially from the elementary school,
Yeah.
and they're so amazed with the way it works, you know. And then you see too, they get their hands dirty. Kids love to get their hands
Yeah.
dirty, no matter
Exactly.
what.
Exactly.
So they would come to Johan, and we would actually plant something, whether lettuce or something. We would do that together, and then they will get an opportunity to see how the system works and the things that I have to do every time I come to Johan, you know, and they're like amazed, like, wow, you know, and they get to taste the lettuce as well. And, you know, so we definitely are looking forward to some projects, mainly with any teenager that might be interested, or anybody
But they're more responsible.
that anybody that might be interested right now in learning about hydroponics.
I was just going to ask if you all, I know volunteer, I know the Statia Dude is up and coming, and in Statia you don't really hear so much the topic volunteer, because people always just be like, okay, my time is money.
Time is money.
So I wanted to know from Johan, do you all look forward to volunteers, or let the community know what you would like support in? Yeah.
Volunteers is always welcome. Just last night, I had a volunteer came through to Johan to help me out, you know, and it's awesome that, you know, people are interested. And I do have some women sometimes would say, hey, when you go into the garden, you could just call me, you know. And I have to take up some persons on that.
So you mentioned that, you know, they do have some ladies who does want you to, who does tell you, you know, when you go to the garden to bring them because, you know, they want to be in that space. You also mentioned that it's a space. But when I see you express yourself, it seems like it's more than just a space. What is that feeling like for you?
Whoa, like you just walking into maybe another world in my the way I look at it. Yeah, because it's just the plants that's there, you know, and the hydroponic system is like water as well, so you're hearing the water flowing through the plants, you know. So sometimes I go and I would also listen to music while I'm doing my work. So you kind of get into a rhythm. You know, when you go and you check the plants and you start talking to them, you know, you know, you start just feeling free. And people really tend to just love that. It takes you away from everything else that is happening. You get a moment to focus on the plants, because trust me, they're like babies. You have to be sometimes so delicate, you know, with them. You know, you want to see them grow. You have to water them. You can't water them too much. You can't water them not too. You know, you can't not water them. You know, so it's really,
even though that happened to me, I trying to have green fingers, right? Let's be honest right now. I trying to have like going to planting and have a little gardening home too. And I think I end up watering a plant too much. Now it just flop over.
Trust me, that happens. And let me tell y'all something. I do hydroponics, but sometimes my plants at home be struggling, you know. I go to my garden, I take care of my babies at the garden, my own plants.
You master that skill.
You know, I master that skill, but my own plants, I'm like, oh my God, it's so bad.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice. Do you have anything special when you're in that space that you really, like, I have to do this in that space?
Take my shoes off.
Do you say that that's a time of grounding, or? That's
my time of grounding, yeah. Once I'm in my garden, you know, I take my shoes off and I just, you know, walk around. You know, of course, it's water and all of those things too, so my feet get wet.
Yeah.
You know, so that I must do at least. Yeah. You know.
So you get messy too.
Yeah, I get messy too. Definitely. You know, so yeah.
Nice, very nice. Well, anything else I missed? Or is there something that you would say, I would like the community to know about this from Johan?
Wow. Like I say, Johan is there to be inspiration and a motivation that agriculture, it can happen, that we can produce our own food. I know not everybody is into it, but whoever is, you know, it's something that I think that you could enjoy. And of course, you have to give it a try. and see how you want to go about it, because there's so many different ways of farming. I'm not saying you have to get into hydroponics, you know, but you can do your backyard farming, and it's not easy. A lot of people think farming is just going outside and throwing down some seeds and watering them and they grow. It's so much more to it than that. Your energy also plays an important role.
Exactly.
It's true.
Of course. Energy.
It's true.
You know, you need to have good energy.
Yeah, that is so true.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know older people really does be into that.
Into that,
especially.
your energy has to be right. And also, it like kind of links also with
reflects.
And it also links with my other type of work that I do in wellness. Your energy got to be right.
Exactly.
You can't help somebody if your energy is off. You know, you can't make somebody feel good. You know, or fix their pain. So even with your plants. You know what I'm saying? Don't expect them to grow good if your energy is off.
Exactly. It's true. That's really a good one.
Exactly.
Thank you for sharing that as well.
But yeah, Johan is there too. Like I say, if you are for the farmers, farmettes, where my ladies at? You know, you call them farmettes. Where they at? You know, if you enjoy farming, then go for it.
It shouldn't be only men getting their hand messy.
No. Go for it. And you can always, like I say, your phone, there's so much you can learn online. If you have any questions, ask Miss Brooks. She's always there to give some insight, you know, for how you would call her a traditional farmer, because she's gonna plant in the dirt and all of that. Even though at Johan we do that as well. So we plant in the dirt, but we also do hydroponics. But of course, it starts in the dirt regardless, and then it's transferred to the system. But we do both, you know. But Miss Brooks, oh my gosh, she's amazing. You can get so much information from her.
Exactly.
You know.
I'm glad you shared that. You mentioned, you encourage persons to start with a little, their own garden. We also have the animals.
Oh my God.
We have. Let's not forget that one.
Oh my goodness.
What tips can you provide for those persons?
Fancy yard. Listen, oh my God, no. Even though sometimes your yard could be fenced. And it's not.
We
easy.
need motivation here.
I'm trying. You have to make sure your garden is enclosed. You need to make sure your garden is closed up or even not seen. You know, to have these black shades that you could put around your garden, because once animals see what's going on.
I do see some persons do that.
You know, but you need to protect your garden. But let me tell you, it's not only about the animals, you know, like cows or goats or anything like that. You have worms, you have all of that, you have butterflies. You know, a worm can come and eat your whole thing down in a night. You know, so there's a lot that you look for. There's a lot that you have to look for. Ants, you know, certain flies.
It's true.
You understand what I'm saying? So don't just think, you know.
Exactly.
That's why you have to be so careful. You have to pay such close attention to what's really happening, because so much can affect your plants. They get diseases.
Especially like worms.
You know,
that's something I have to get accustomed to. So if I go in, I have to make sure to wear. I know it comes with it. Worms, worms are always in dirt, so.
But there's something, you know, the butterflies, they lay their eggs.
That one I think we learned it from Miss Brooks.
You know, the butterflies, they come, they lay their eggs, and you gotta once they hatch and they start eating up your stuff. So you gotta pay attention. That's why, you know, you go to your garden, you gotta check your plants. You know, it takes time and it takes effort and you know, all of that to make sure that they're good.
But at least you know what you're growing for yourself. So I know in the beginning, Jackie asked you about Lady Shorteh. That is your stage name.
Okay.
But what I would like to know, and this before, tell me about Sjahairah Fleming. what is Sjahairah all about?
Hi. I'm humble, straightforward. I guess if you were to see me, you wouldn't think I would be an artist, really.
I do.
You do? But yeah, I'm very humble, and I'm a hard worker. I'm a go-getter.
You can tell.
I'm a go-getter. I think it comes with my sign. I'm a Taurus.
Oh.
You know? You understand? But besides that, most importantly, I'm a mom.
Yeah.
I have 2 daughters, a teenager already, and 15-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Okay.
So they are so far my biggest accomplishments.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see what they are going to be doing in their future. So, that's my hearts. Besides that, I'm also involved in wellness. I'm the owner of Vitality Beauty and Spa. So, I love the beach. I love the beach. And I just really love to chill back.
Yeah.
And when I finish with work, I get into my own space. And for me, that is my space where I can just reset, and take each day as it comes. But I'm a very positive person, very optimistic about everything around me. And I believe that whatever you give out, you get it back.
Yeah.
You understand? So always put positive energy into the universe, because it's going to come back.
Yeah.
And it's going to come back when you do least expect it. So give your best, do your best, and God is going to do the rest.
Yeah.
You understand? Because you're going to be blessed.
Amen.
I didn't even know. I was just like, that was just coming,
He's an artist in you.
But I do believe that.
Yeah.
Give your best, do your best, and always be positive. Always speak your truth, because your tongue is very powerful. So always speak your truth, and watch things happen.
Beautiful. I have one more question. Sorry if I asked him too much.
No, that's fine.
You're just a very interesting person to me. So.
Thank you.
When it comes to, you mentioned a lot of different things that you say. You're owner of Vitality Spa, you're a farmer, you're an artist, you're a mom, you're on a Carnival committee. How do you balance it all?
Wow. Everybody asks that question. Everybody would ask, how do you do it?
Yeah. But is that in a negative way, or do they do it positive? Is
It
way how
depends.
okay.
It depends. I'll explain that. It really depends, because for some who are concerned, I had persons maybe like my grandma. She would always say, "You need to slow down. You're doing too much." Some persons were concerned.
Yeah.
They'll say it like that. You're doing too much. But for me, it's really who I am as a person. And if people really also know my father, they would also see that he's somebody who was like up and down, doing all kinds of stuff, always busy.
Yeah.
I've been like that since I'm young, and my mind worked the same way. It's always like going. It's always something happening. I'm always thinking about something, and trying to be strategic in how I do things. Now, I'm quite strategic with how I plan my day and all of those things.
I guess that's a Taurus talking.
Because, of course, I have my children, my daughters, who I have to also be a mom to. And time for them is also very precious. There were times in my life, of course, when I started my business and all of that, when time... It was like when I got home, it was really time for them to already go to bed for school the next day, because I work all day. So it was like, okay, this is just for a moment. I also had to explain to my children also, because as moms, as parents, we feel guilty. You feel a little guilt, like, oh my God, you're not spending enough time with them. But in the process, I was also keeping them informed and talking with them and saying, hey, listen, I'm working hard right now, but it's not going to be forever.
Yeah.
You understand? And, you know, I'm doing this for a reason.
Exactly.
You understand? And also, it's beneficial for you as well because I want you to have all the things that you need in life. And, you know, as a parent, you want to explain them all of these things, you know, because life is not always
They
about
learn from
roses.
you too by seeing
of
that.
course. And, you know, life is not always about roses, and we got to work hard. And a lot of times, you know, people see you with doing all of this stuff, but it comes with a lot of sacrifice as well to be able to do all the things that you do. But balance, is there ever really balance? Is the question.
That's the question.
You know, because in the beginning too, when I really started my business, getting involved in all kinds of stuff, because that's when I moved to Statia. I've been in Statia about 10 years. So I asked another entrepreneur, a lady, telling her, oh my God, I can't find balance. It's like going crazy. So she said, I wondered, is there really ever a balance? And I thought about it like, interesting.
Yeah.
Because no day is the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just being able to manage it all. And as I grow, I'm able to allow as like the spark, and I don't have to be there right now, you know.
So then you take that pressure off yourself.
It takes like some pressure off. You understand? So it's really it takes a lot.
Yeah.
It really does. It
Can
really
imagine.
does. It really does. But besides that, things out here is not easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Things are not easy, and we gotta do what we have to do. You know, and like I say, I try to be very, very strategic with how I do things so that it makes sense to me, and that I hope that in a couple of years from now I can kind of be relaxed, a little bit more relaxed, and not have to worry about all the things that I have to worry about now.
Although you're doing a lot of different things, if I think about it, it looks like you're all into expression and feeling.
Yeah.
Like the Vitality and Spa is a place that people can go, relax, get taken care of. The farming is holistic as well.
Yeah,
You
they all
own
have a link. It's like
space.
they all have a link.
Music is expressing yourself too.
Yeah.
And when do you know you need a reset?
My body says it. That's what they say, listen to your body. Yeah, my body says it. Yeah. Sometimes I myself don't even know how I do it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just, like I say, who I am.
Yeah.
But listen to your body. Your body talks to you all the time. And I guess I can also say that I might be lucky that I get to have a massage.
Yeah.
I get to actually be like, I need a massage. My body
Just
hurts. You know? And they will hook me up like, I know you need it. You definitely need it. I mean, I don't get to do it as often maybe as I should.
Yeah.
Even though, but...
You're pushing yourself. You're putting it to the side, or I could do that anytime.
Yeah, you know, it's like, really?
Yeah.
So, at least I get an opportunity.
Yeah.
Which is needed as well, you know, to be able to reset. So I take that moment, and the beach is my go-to. Okay. The water, it just, you know, you cleanse your aura, you know?
Nice. So you stay on the island to reset?
I do.
Okay.
Not all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Because I know sometimes, like myself, I would say sometimes you need to exit yourself from the community, from the environment.
It's necessary. It is definitely necessary. I do that type of reset also.
Okay.
It's necessary. That is definitely
scenery.
Different people, different food, different conversation.
Yeah.
You know, all of those things are necessary in your life. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I hope they do something with it when you take it soon.
Oh my God. They are making it so difficult for us. It is so insane. They're making it too difficult for us, for our families to be able to have experiences. Because experiences they're everything.
Exactly.
You know, and if you can't have experiences, you can't create memories.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand?
Needed.
It's definitely
especially
needed.
for family too.
For family, yes. For family is the most. For family is definitely the most, because imagine a family with 3 kids. How are you going to get off of this island? You're already paying over $1,000 just to get off. Just to get off the island.
Yep.
Yeah.
You didn't even buy another ticket to another destination as yet.
Exactly.
You know, so
Yeah.
and I think, like I say, experiences
Yep.
is necessary.
Yeah. At
for
the end
your
of the day,
kids as
that
well.
was all the kids that remember.
Yeah.
The experiences.
But they get to see the outside world as well.
Yeah.
Remember, Statia, we are still couple.
Yeah.
No steps behind,
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
true.
Then and that's
It's
not a
facts.
bad thing.
Yeah.
You know. But when they go out in the outside world and they see, they also get inspired.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, and they're like, whoa, they have this. Oh wow, I could do that.
Yeah.
And that is what helps your children as well. So hey, Winya, what we gonna say?
Okay, so I have a question. I want to spend time with someone who's no longer here. Who would it be and why?
All right. To be honest, I just lost my grandma last year, a couple months ago in November. And losing my grandma is like, oh my God, I really can't explain the feeling. I think I'm still not through it. I can tell you, I'm not through it as yet. Still working on that. It would be her, to be honest, because she actually also raised me. And yeah, she's my everything, you know. And one of the main reasons I also decided to come back to Statia was because I felt like my grandma did so much. She made sure I was good all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I learned so much from her as well. And I think because of her too, I am the woman that I am today, following my dreams and being who I am. She instilled a lot of those things in me, you know? And so having, like I was saying, me coming back to her, she was one of my main reasons of coming back, because I felt like, okay, it's my grandma, you know, people are getting older, and I want to be able to kind of spend some time with her and give back to her as well, you know. And so I decided to move back to Statia. I started to build my life. Of course, I started from zero up to where I'm at now, you know. But still, I felt like what I really wanted to do for her, or really give to her, like I wasn't able to really accomplish that. For her, I know for her, it's okay, you know, because she was able to see me follow my dreams and see me do all of the crazy things that I've done in my life and all the stuff that I'm doing right now. You understand? I know she was pleased, but still for me, I felt like I still wanted to give her so much more. I still wanted to show her how much I appreciate her and all that she has done. So she would definitely be that person. What would we do in that hour? I don't know. I don't know, but we'll definitely do something like something out of the box. You know?
And I guess it will never be enough
for
us.
No, it would never ever. You could never give back what you want or feel that you have to, because the things that they have done for us, it's priceless. Priceless.
So like you say, she always supported you in everything that you are, so pursue it.
Yeah, definitely. And that is why also I look forward to each and every single day to come. You know, I'm excited about life and what is to come. Even though we have our down moments, right? But those down moments also happen for a reason, and it's also to make you a stronger person as time passes. You understand what I'm saying? So you always have to somehow take the good things out of the sad moments And that is what you want to build on. You know, that is what you want to move forward on. All the good things, all the great memories and all of that. So in between, hey, it's been a process. And losing my grandma has taught me so much also, how to appreciate life so much more, you know. And because she was able to enjoy a full life.
Yeah.
You know, she was able to enjoy a full life. And I
Yeah.
think at the moment she was just like, I'm good now. Y'all are good. Y'all are grown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Can
saying?
be a
And you and you could be contented. And I think that's what we all would love for ourselves, that we can at one moment in life say, hey, I am pleased.
Yeah.
I did my thing. I give my all. I give my best.
Yeah.
You know? And that is all you could do. My aunt used to say, who don't like it, lump it. You know, give your best.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Today, I share a quote about Sadhguru, I think is his name. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Where it says, are you are you experiencing life, or are you thinking about it?
Mm-hmm.
That's a deep question. It makes you be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we think and think and think.
What are you thinking
but
about?
You're not really experiencing it and living in the present. So.
You have to live in the present moment.
Yep.
This is all that you are right now.
Yep.
Right here.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once you could do that, like, you will really enjoy life, trust me. Because you get excited of what is next.
Yeah.
You don't know what is next, but it's exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the attitude you want to have, you know? But if you're thinking too much on, you're not really in control. What are you really in control of?
Yep.
There are things that you are in control of. Worry about those things.
Exactly.
But the things that you are not in control of, honey, just roll with the punches.
Yep.
Yep.
You know?
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sjahairah.
Thanks
You're
a lot.
This has
most
been a-
welcome.
Really nice interview. I got to know more about you. And I look forward to see what this year will bring forward, and especially looking forward to Carnival 2025.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yes.
Like I say here on Jacket Imagery, on the talk. Capture the moment. Watch it forever. See you guys in the next episode. Bless.